So that'll be rotten then. I mean, this was a pine tree that died from honey fungus well over a decade ago, just before we started coming to this garden. And it's now at a point where it needs to come down because it's a danger. Afternoon, everyone. Hope it's warm enough for you today. You're all enjoying the weekend? We are working. It's a little warm today, isn't it, for this? Much rather be sat down in the shade. This is what I'm doing. More of this edging. Except the soil around here is really hard and baked. It's really compacted. So it's a nightmare to get through. And Rich is taking down some tree stumps. Where those gaps are in the fence, there are a couple of rotten pine trees, so he's taking them down. No stag beetles in them, but they will provide good habitat for stag beetles, so they've gone in a woodland area that's at the front of the property. And some busybody, it's Golf Links Road in Ferndown, so some busybody decided that Rich was fly tipping and had a go at him until they were told that the owners here take care of the space that the council would otherwise leave. People should just keep their noses out, shouldn't they? Evening, hope you had a good day. We just have to ignore the mess because a little bit of rain last night and a thunderstorm has brought out all of the nigella. So we've got this sea of blue, and I always let the nigella grow wild in this bed wherever it wants to grow. Look at that. So I'll be able to harvest all of these. When they go to seed, they produce a really big, fat, round pop, like a poppy head. When it turns papery, you can harvest the seeds out of it. So I'll get a whole load of nigella seeds, and they taste lovely. Oh, some sow thistle there I need to get out. I generally need to get this end of the garden a bit tidier. Just mow a path through it, basically. But yeah, I'm surprised this bed's doing really well. Need to get in and get this U clipped. We're going to make a pyramid out of it in the middle of the bed. Bit of formality. Aisha, this is what your Nepeta should look like. But I think the soil in those little beds in your garden is a bit crap, because these are mine. And I actually do need to give them what's called a Chelsea chop now, where we reduce the plant by half and it encourages a second flush of flowers that's denser and not as leggy as this. But I will dry all these blooms out, hang them in the greenhouse, because it will make free catnip, and I'll send some over to you when it's dry. And anyone else who wants some, actually, because I'm going to have loads. So this actually turned out quite nicely. There's some roses that came from a client in here that are just about to open. The big yellow ones are from my garden, along with some smoke bush, some purple sage, some Cicerinchia, Verbena, Nepeta. There's some white roses in here from my garden as well that are Alfred Carrarier. That's some Japanese larch, lovely and soft. And a big branch off a purple acer. I think that works quite well. They should be quite happy with that. Right, for the moment, that's us done. All the plants have taken. There's loads of veg in this lower bed. Some roses up at the back, which hopefully some of them are climbers, so they can be tied into the fence line as they get bigger. The acers are really happy here. This gets early morning sun, and then it's quite shady the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the day. Patio's all laid out. They're talking about possibly some sort of metal pergola structure over in that side at some point in the future. Herb planter is really happy. Bed up here, everything's doing really well. It's filling out nicely. There's all sorts of dahlias and things in here to come up. Loads of shade-loving plants in this bed. Yeah, this is the area where there'll be a big square pergola eventually, because it'll come up above the height of the patio doors. But for the moment, the great big awning does the job. Steps are finished. Beautiful tiles. actually looking at it now, I prefer these ones to going for the sort of Spanish style ones. We're going to go for about 6 different patterns of the blue and white ones, more sort of like a old Spanish style. And I much prefer these ones. Suits the cottage vibe of the garden. Anyway, all the lavender that our client grew from cuttings has come on really well. It's producing good sized plants. Fruit trees all happy. This bed looks great. The bed over there looks really good. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about these yellow patches. That's fox coming in and having a wee on the lawn. Try and deal with that over the winter somewhere. But yeah, it's looking great. We're really happy. Client's happy. They've got a lovely patio to sit in now. They've been using it already. They've had like 3 or 4 parties since we finished the patio a couple of weeks ago. There we go.
Do you know why we do it? No? I do. Thought you probably would. Time travel. Go on.
Evening. Hope you all had a good weekend. I had grand plans this morning before we met a friend for a late lunch to get a new bed in the greenhouse, so I could get my tomatoes and cucumbers in. But we have limited windows on certain things we can do for work, so we had tiles on some steps, on the rises of steps to grout, and some concrete to lay, so we had to do that this morning instead. So the greenhouse bed has taken a back seat, unfortunately. But I'll show you what else is going on in the garden. So veg is looking good. There was a cucumber in the middle there. Not a cucumber, a melon. And it got munched, so that's been replaced with a much sturdier one, and it looks much happier when I've put a ring of grit round. Seems to be doing the job. So far, cabbage whites seem to be off of the kohlrabi, which is good. All the beans are doing well. I've chucked loads of salad in all round as well. Everything here's doing well. Squash and courgettes, 2 different types of courgettes. Loads of onions up that end, hence the canes over it to stop the candy cats digging. There's rows of onions in between, and these are broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, because we eat quite a lot of broccoli here. Greenhouse wise, that's where my new bed's meant to be going, but I haven't got very far with that. I need to take up the membrane. I've got a thick wooden edge to go all the way across, dig down, loosen it all up. I've got a load of well-rotted manure to go in here once this is dug over. That should feed what I want to put in there. I will probably also put some cut and Canadian lettuce in here, just so we've got something we can whip out straight from the kitchen and grab. All the lettuce that's in the veg patch is little gems, so they need to produce a decent size heart before they can be harvested. Otherwise it's pointless. Chucked a couple of melons in here because I had them. The lemon trees are doing well. This one that I thought had died is actually coming back, so I'm really pleased because they're probably different varieties and will cross-pollinate. I'll probably have to do that myself. I haven't seen many bees, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't think they're going to flower this year, but I don't mind that. You know, at least they're here and they're alive. If anyone can recommend where I can get some straw, I'd like to get some straw in these once they're in, because it'll provide some shade and keep the moisture into these beds. So the sun bakes the soil so hard because it's dark. Coming around, ignore the mess. I've got my chilies in. Found a little verbena that had just self-seeded. Tomatoes potted on. More Malaga melons. Some lettuce left as well. Loads more kohlrabi that needs dividing up. It's still in its seed tray. But I've got these ones that I've potted on. More tomatoes. Tomatoes will be a surprise. They're surprise tomatoes. They are from last year's pots, so they were a mixture of seeds that I just picked out the top of the pots. They could be anything from Alicante to Shirley to Moneymaker, or maybe even, I can't remember the name of it, could be Sun Gold. A little cherry yellow tomato. Rich really likes those. And then I've got my cucumbers to go in. I really need to get on and get this bed built to get them in. But yeah, that's it. Tomorrow we have a patio job for the week, and it's going to rain.